Senator, is there systemic racism in this country in policing and in other institutions?
No, not in my opinion. We just elected a two-term African-American president. The vice president is of African-American Indian descent. So our systems are not racist. America is not a racist country. Within every society, you have bad actors. The Chauvin trial was a just result.
Well, good news everyone. Barack Obama was elected in 2008, and so racism doesn't exist in the United States anymore. Yes, that is an actual thing that Lindsey Graham said, and yes, he said it with a straight face. Just so we're clear, since Graham cited the example of President Obama specifically, I guess I should remind you all that literal effigies of Obama could be found across the United States after his election, like this one in Florida, or this one in Wisconsin, or this one in California, or this one in Texas, or this one in North Carolina, or this one in Indiana. But hey, couldn't possibly be racist because after all, Obama was elected, right? Consider too, a birther conspiracy theory was started about Obama, suggesting that he wasn't even American. They said he wasn't Christian. They claimed that he was a Muslim from Kenya, and the guy who started that conspiracy theory was quite literally elected president of the United States. In other words, you mean to tell me that America isn't racist when the person who cooked up the single most racist conspiracy theory in presidential history was literally rewarded with the presidency? Graham also brought up Kamala Harris getting elected vice president. Well, guess what? The same exact type of conspiracy theory popped up about her too, with who else but Donald Trump suggesting that now Kamala wasn't eligible.
I heard it today that she doesn't meet the requirements. And by the way, the lawyer that wrote that piece is a very highly qualified, very talented lawyer.
Weird how none of the past vice presidents, like Mike Pence or Joe Biden or Dick Cheney or Al Gore, never had their citizenship questioned. I can't quite put my finger on why. And for those of you thinking, well, that was while Trump was in office, he's gone now, that was an aberration. No. Look at the raft of voter suppression bills sprouting up across the country now, and consider who those bills specifically target. Republicans are introducing bills limiting drop boxes to the same number in small counties as those with large black populations in urban counties, making it disproportionately more difficult for black people to cast ballots. States have or are considering making the act of giving food or water to people waiting in line a crime. And yet when you consider the fact that black people are overwhelmingly and disproportionately the ones stuck waiting in lines as long as 8, 9, 10, 11 hours to vote in counties like Fulton and Gwinnett, it becomes clear that those laws are specifically designed to hurt black people. The Georgia law and similar legislation in other states have expanded the legislature's power over elections, paving the way for an overwhelmingly Republican legislature from gerrymandered congressional districts to interfere with the vote in predominantly Democratic areas with the bulk of the state's black populations. We'd even seen proposals banning voting on Sundays, the day that black voters disproportionately show up to vote because of church-driven events like Souls to the Polls. These voter suppression tactics aren't new, and it's beyond clear who they target. So to claim that America isn't systemically racist is willfully denying reality. And that's to say nothing of discrimination in housing and mortgage loans for black Americans or those with black-sounding names. It's to say nothing of the lack of economic development in black neighborhoods. It's to say nothing of the high unemployment rate and lower pay for black Americans. It's to say nothing of the disproportionate share of black people as part of the total US prison population. It's to say nothing of marijuana arrests for black people despite almost equal marijuana use by whites and blacks. It's to say nothing of the share of fatal police shootings by race. Even the share of COVID hospitalizations in black communities is evidence of the disproportionate impacts of disease on communities of color. I could go on all day, but the evidence is clear and settled. And by denying objective reality, people like Lindsey Graham only serve to exacerbate the problems plaguing this country by continuing to pretend that they don't even exist. To see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And for a deeper dive, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I discuss the week's top stories and interview major players in the world of politics, like Vice President Kamala Harris, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer, Katie Porter, Pete Buttigieg, Nancy Pelosi, and many more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts.